Hello and welcome to some more Star Citizen with highlights and a summary of the monthly report looking at the work on Star Citizen over the last few weeks and plans for the future. The design guys there have been tuning the economy, so there's work going into adjusting prices for various goods and services across the Stanton system. Work has also started on the economy editing tool for them to better help visualize and tweak the economy. They want to encourage players to browse the inventories at New Deal and Teach's ship shop, so they've begun implementing a new type of NPC, the ship dealer. The aim is to provide a realistic and interesting ship purchasing experience to further liven up the process of acquiring a ship in-game. Engineering there, the first iteration of the client-side object container streaming was released in Alpha 3.3 with an ongoing focus now to improve asynchronous entity loading and unloading. They've had a summit discussing the server side of object container streaming, so the next iterations of object container streaming will contain this feature as the plan, and they're going to be moving on to full persistent servers as well. They've built the tech required for in-game ship rentals as well. It was premiered during the Anniversary Expo and forms the foundation for all in-game rentals. There's been some development on back-end tech allowing for persistent HABs and enabling players to customize and persist their start locations. The vehicle team has continued to work on ping and scanning gameplay, and this month is focusing on ship scanning. They've also started work on the new DNA component, so we'll be able to have more customization of our characters. Further work's been going into the group system to improve that, Spectrum integration, FOIP and VoIP stuff as well. The environment art teams have made great progress on Lorville's Central Business District, the CBD. Here, players can access the Hurston Dynamics Showcase, the flagship store for all weapons and items produced by them, as well as transfers, where players can engage in various trading activities. The CBD has a very different feel to the rest of Lorville, and clearly services a different type of clientele. Luxurious materials and modern design set the ambience for the experience there. The Organics and Planet team are making great progress on upcoming locations and are currently working on ArcCorp and exploring Microtech. Both locations need additional features to be added to the Planet Tech to make them truly unique, so while it's early days, things are steadily moving on. Level design, placed and marked up locations on and around Hurston for mission use. Big improvements to the delivery missions were made. Players will now be able to take contracts from companies who operate specific routes and require the player to have a certain level of reputation. The downed relay mission, as seen in CitizenCon, now has multiple outcomes, including having other players tasked with destroying the stolen blade before its data is uploaded. Most of the combat missions found at Crusader are now available at Hurston. Work has begun to define the contractors and progression for them too. New underground facilities components have been added to the procedural tech. These are built with modularity in mind and can be generated in the same way as rest stops. Once the modular library has had enough content added to it, rooms, connectors, points of interest, it will become much easier to provide more variety for missions and set pieces. With ships, work continues on the greatly anticipated Anvil Carrack. Since the ship was last worked on around 18 months ago, there have been significant improvements to the ship pipeline and workflow, so when reviewing the previous state, the team decided to undertake a second white box pass of the interior to bring it closer to its original concept. The Anvil Hawk is in the release prep stage, the 300 series is in grey box, and the freelancers have entered the release prep stage 2. Progress has been made on the grey box model interior and exterior of the 300i rework, and they've begun implementing different paint jobs, and they've modelled the different components for the other 3 variants. The Banu Defender is seeing lots of work. They're experimenting with some new textures, and they're constantly trying to improve the sort of like granular detail of the ship where possible. Vehicle features for turrets, in addition to lots of bug fixes that have been being made, there were multiple other improvements for them, making multi-axis turrets controllable at min-max pitch, fixing the gyro pip offset, and improving aiming methods from a variety of input devices. The foundational mechanics to allow ships to aim at the engines on a target ship has also been completed. and the feature itself is nearly ready to be rolled out to the persistent universe, as is scanning nav points for destination info. The systems design team have worked on integrating updated flight mechanics into enemy ship AI, ensuring that with all the changes that they're still engaging to fight against and don't become unbalanced. They noticed that the updated flight model currently causes too much unwanted jousting behavior, so they're currently looking at ways to modify that. Work was done on restructuring dialogue world lines for the ship, FPS, and social AI to unify them within the same overall structure. A large amount of work has been done on the audio and writing team's point of view to ensure the system works properly with all systemic dialogue in the game. They are also working to develop tools to automate the setup of dialogue lines. More work was completed on designing stealth gameplay elements, which in turn rely on AI perception to be upgraded to cater for peripheral vision, as well as various audio events and stimuli from environmental sources, such as throwing a pebble or an object to distract an enemy. AI stuff, so ships AI major focus was optimizing the tactical point system, basically optimizing some parts for multi-threaded CPUs. This is required to eventually move the subsumption component update to the multi-threaded batch update step. They have been adding new AI behaviors, focusing on combat, defending, and patrol. Their systems now sees if an AI can perform a particular behavior, and if it can't, then it selects the next most appropriate behavior that it can. The bartender has also seen some behavioral work. Support for stealth gameplay mechanics were implemented, with new audio and visual stimuli being added to allow players to draw attention of the guards, prepare traps, and open up otherwise blocked paths. Animation stuff, so they helped bring vault, mantle, and jumping functionality in line with the game's quality and play expectations. They are currently testing a process to allow the efficient integration of different weapon classes, such as pistols and shotguns. The team is also implementing carry options for 0G EVA and working towards finalizing player interaction. Carryables in particular are being focused on. They continue to work on ship dealers that will populate the verse and made sure the new mission givers are available as soon as their locations are ready, such as Wallace Klim, Inlevsky, and Tekia Petaccio. I do not know how to pronounce that name. Paccio in Area 18 and Constantine Hurston in Lawville. In regard to the female model, they're exploring the issues that result from retargeting the male animations to the female skeleton. The team determined that the first step is to achieve a 1-to-1 parity between them. This will allow for the replacement of assets with female-specific versions without hindering the female player's development. Finishing touches are being added to the carryable tech as well. Character art's focus through November was to make all armor and undersuits available for the female avatars. Additionally, they created a new set of outlaw armor, designation Shipjacker, that will include armor and undersuit and subscriber items as well. The combat AI team is exploring how to use the stocked weapon asset set as a basis to quickly create pistol versions to give the AI designers more freedom in the type of weapon encounters they create. They're also working on the Ravager and K-Hix weapons. Backend Services worked to bring the 2948 anniversary event to life and to players. They created a service needed to bring forward the correct overlapped object containers for different days at the convention center. This allowed the transition between manufacturers every day and prevented the need to publish a new build for the expo every day as well. They also work to make the rental logic behind the expo correctly, communicate between the server client and the databases that they've got, so that players could actually use those rented ships. A login queue was created to help organize and throttle the unprecedented number of players attempting to enter the verse and check out the expo. On the music front, the team worked with the Persistent Universe composer Pedro Camacho to help develop and implement new musical cues to support the planetside locations on Hurston, such as L19 and the upcoming expansions that it's going to receive. I love Pedro. I love his music. I think he's awesome. Between PTU and Live, they've actually successfully published 30 builds to players throughout November, with some days seeing 3 to 4 builds. Planetary Tech has seen some vast improvements as well in mesh generation and terrain computation. Terrain rendering improvements were made, as well as fixes for water volume and ocean rendering. The existing hair shader was improved, and a new depth of field algorithm was created, improving quality, performance, and fixing halos around silhouettes. There is also additional culling refinements in the zone system to submit fewer objects to the renderer, as well as various low-level optimizations to reduce the load on the render thread. There have been lots of fixes for memory problems and leaks as well. The lighting team worked on improving the headlights across almost all of the ships in the persistent universe due to plenty of issues regarding visibility while flying ships in dark environments. The headlights were improved to provide more visible light from greater distances. There's still room for improvement though, but it's a positive change that makes the planetary flying experience much more enjoyable. The weapon art team worked on the multi-tool rework, Castak Arms Ravager 212, and the level 2 and 3 upgrades for the Hurston Dynamics laser repeaters. They also made minor adjustments to the iron sights on a handful of weapons to improve sights and optics. Working in conjunction with the Universe team, Game Services began the development of a web-based administration tool to help manage the runtime state of the game world from a macro level. This is still in the very early stages of development, but using this tool, the designers will ultimately have the ability to inspect social objects like groups and their life cycles, ban, chase, and player controls. Integrating the WebGL star map engine will also allow the viewing of commodities, player locations, gameplay analytics, and much more. There was a lot in that monthly report, and I will link the full article down below. Anything you were particularly pleased with or disliked in the monthly report, please tell me in the comments below. We will be giving away another Saber Raven with a CitizenCon digital goodies pack. All you need to do is be subscribed to my channel and comment on any of my videos in December to be in for a chance of winning. And some other giveaways may appear and some other stuff along the month, but I will inform you when that happens. If you are considering getting or upgrading your gaming PC for Star Citizen or any other game for that matter, instead consider the Shadow Cloud gaming service. It's a subscription-based service that leverages your internet connection to turn any appropriate device, whether it be an old PC, smartphone, tablet, and more, into a powerful Windows 10 gaming PC. It's been working well in the latest 3.3.0 PTU patch of Star Citizen. I'm going to try and maintain a best practices guide on my website as well. More information is available in the links below, and if you do decide to try it, use the code BoredGamer to get a discount. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the verse.